Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, reacting to the Toronto Raptors 113-106 victory over the New York Knicks. And finally, we have something exciting to dive into. We have a wild performance from the Toronto Raptors, and especially from Spicy P. Pascal Siakam. And folks, give him his credit, give him his due, because this man came out and absolutely cooked the New York Knicks. This man was on fire. He set a career high. He's making history in the Garden, one of the most historic arenas in all of the world. Pascal Siakam showed up when the Toronto Raptors were on a 6-game losing streak. We played against a New York Knicks team that I know Raptors fans might not have been following that closely, but they have been on an 8-game win streak themselves, and we got the W. We got a massive, massive win in this one, and it was solely, we had some other performances which we'll dive into. Shout out to Fred VanVleet, Malachi Flynn, all of these dudes, but Pascal Siakam especially. He was the dude that came out here and made history out here tonight. You look at the box score and he was just phenomenal. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no other ways to put it. Pascal Siakam, 52 points. 52 points in this game, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 17 of 25 from the field. And that's going up against some bigs like Mitchell Robinson down low, right? The New York Knicks have been a really strong defensive team lately, right? 17 of 25 from the field, 2-6 from the three-point line, but 16 of 18 from the free throw line, and did everything he could possibly do, and more. Physically transcending the human body, out here just doing everything possible to win a basketball game on the road for this Toronto Raptors squad. Pascal Siakam deserves all the praise, all the love. Folks, throw some W's in the chat. Throw some big love. I'm already seeing the love for Pascal Siakam in our chat right now, but we got to give credit where credit's due, man. So many people bashed on this guy years prior, and this season he is looking like an MVP candidate. He was in top 5 MVP discussions before he went down with injury, and he's been doing it this entire year. Win or lose, Pascal Siakam has consistently been our guy. Has been the guy we love to see. Paul Blunt's throwing in the spinny tornadoes in the chat. You'll love to see it, but man, this... Shout out to Pascal Siakam, because Raptors fans, we needed something to latch onto. We need something to re-hype us about this team. Get us more excited about the squad. And he even had a good game the other night against the Philadelphia 76ers. And I was screaming on this podcast, get this man some help. And, you know, Pascal, he brought Siakam to help him. I saw a comment on Reddit, I think, and Pascal and Siakam combined for 52 points in this one. This was without a doubt the performance of the season. One of the best performances I've seen from a Toronto Raptor. And the numbers put it otherwise. Like, diving into some of the stats, I looked at Twitter while we were going. I was dealing with some technical issues, but allowed me to grab some screenshots to talk about this game. But, you know, this is a tweet that's going around. Josh Luenberg retweeted that Pascal Siakam scored or assisted on 70 of the Toronto Raptors points, 113 points we had in this one. So he was doing it all over the court, knocking down shots, facilitating for this team. Also, he becomes the 5th player in Raptors history to score 50-plus points, joining Fred VanVleet, who scored 54 last year, DeMar DeRozan 52, or that might be a couple years ago. I'm not sure when Fred broke the career high. DeMar DeRozan with 52, Vince Carter with 51, and Terrence Ross with 51. If I recall correctly, I thought Charlie Villanueva had a 50-piece, but maybe it was like 49 or something. But, you know, he's up there in Raptors legacy, as we know he already is. And, you know, MSG, they're a stadium that's, you know, it's an arena. It's the biggest stage, people call it, the NBA, you know, with all that lights, being in the Big Apple in New York. But Pascal Siakam is up there with guys like Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, Michael Jordan, Richard Hamilton, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Steph Curry, James Harden, and Pascal is on that list right now. With the exception of Richard Hamilton, those are all Hall of Fame players that Pascal Siakam has joined in being the only player to ever score 50-plus points in the Garden, in Madison Square Garden. So just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal stuff for Pascal. And we needed every single one of those points, because the New York Knicks, while the Toronto Raptors did go on their scoring droughts that we've become accustomed to in recent weeks with this team, while we weren't perfect, especially outside of Pascal Siakam in this game, but we'll dive into that as well. But, you know, Pascal Siakam single-handedly turned around runs with the help of Fred VanVleet, Malachi, and these guys, but he was just phenomenal, and it was an amazing thing to see. And I also want to, call Paul Blunt's talking in the chat as well. He mentioned it in a super chat, or in one of those. I see the live chats pop up, but basically, I booked it. I made a little prediction in today's video saying, even though the Knicks were on an 8-game win streak, even though the Toronto Raptors were on a big losing streak, I said it. The Toronto Raptors are going to win this game. Nothing provoked me, but I've made 3 official predictions this season that I've held my feet to the fire with, and you can see it there. The Raptors will beat the New York Knicks tonight. You can fact check in the recent video, and somehow, some way, they made it happen. And maybe we felt the scented spicy pea auras in the air, or whatever was going through the air across Canada. I was happy to see it. And if you guys want to make some money on this game, the Raptors have really good odds going in this one. Definitely, if you're ever trying to sports bet, use the CoolBet app. Use the link in our description down below, because they're regulated across Canada. They're safe to use. They have all the bets that you want to do, and you can get custom bets with the Toronto Raptors. If you hit up myself or Goody, show you've signed up for the app, and we can get you custom futures and stuff that we'll be betting along with as the season gets closer, and Goody does those live watch alongs. So definitely sign up for CoolBet. It helps out the channel. It's free to sign up for as well, so just click the link, check it out. But we have a lot of stuff we have to dive into about this game, but I'm not done raving about Pascal Siakam, because this was just absolutely amazing for him there. Do we get the... It's been a long time. It's been a very, very long time since we've been able to play the balloons, and we're finally getting the balloons rolling, as we had a big losing streak, but I feel the scent is in the air. A big winning streak is en route. So you love to see that there. But Pascal Siakam was the only guy that played in this game, and usually, a 28 piece from a Toronto Raptor would catch the eyes of a lot of Raptors fans, but this guy's been pretty polarizing amongst the fan base right now. But Fred VanVleet in this game, still not very efficient, at least from the field, but 28 points, 4 assists, 3 steals, playing just solid all-around basketball. I thought tonight, while, I was screaming in the last podcast about get Pascal Siakam some help, right? We need to get this guy some, with trying to refrain from using any explicitives, but we need to get Pascal some help. And Fred VanVleet tonight, while he wasn't perfectly efficient, while he wasn't hitting all his shots, I think he does deserve some credit in this one, because he hit some timely ones. And this is what I was saying earlier this season when the Toronto Raptors were winning and stuff. Fred VanVleet was having that sort of Kyle Lowry gene, where sure, he wouldn't make all of his shots, sure, he wasn't perfect by any means, and definitely not as efficient as Lowry was with the Toronto Raptors, but he'd hit the timely ones which were necessary to win us games. And tonight, I thought Fred VanVleet had some nice momentum swinging threes. Missed a couple as well, but knocked down enough to get the W, to be the second option for Pascal Siakam, at least in this game tonight. So we gotta, for all the bagging that's been on Fred VanVleet in recent weeks, we gotta show some love when he is performing well. So nice to see Fred VanVleet get out of a little slump. And in the starting lineup as well, OG Anunoby, 15-6, 1 of 6 from the 3-point line, 7 of 15 from the field. You might look at that and say, hey, not the greatest performance from OG, but defensively, this guy is an absolute game changer for us. The way he can stay in front of people, just switch around on the court. Our defense is exponentially better with OG Anunoby on the lineup. And while Pascal Siakam is going to get all the love for his offensive performance, and obviously he's an all-around player, deserves a bunch of the credit, OG Anunoby, the way he sort of anchors our defense on the wing and switch on to guys like Julius Randle, whoever, right? Make it difficult from them on any night. OG Anunoby deserves some credit in this one. So, that's what we want to see. Predator Kingdom saying that 3 from Freddie was huge without a doubt. So, those 3 guys in the starting unit were pretty great. Sarupia is asking where Jalen Harris is. He's on the New York Knicks. I don't think he actually gets minutes in this one, but it's just a positive game for the Raptors. Hopefully like one of those TSN turning point games, but one guy that's sort of quietly, amongst all of the losing, has really added some value to this Toronto Raptors team is Malachi Flynn, who ended up closing this game. I see a lot of people talking about Scotty Barnes in the chat. We'll get to him. But ended up closing this game over Scotty Barnes. Malachi Flynn has really been solid for this Raptors team. Got 26 minutes. He's out of the Nick nursery. Had 8 points in this one, 2 assists. And again, 3 of 8 from the field is not amazing by any means, but hit 2 of 5 from the 3-point line. Hit a couple of just timely, again, having another threat out there that can knock down 3-point shots. It's It's what we need. It's what the Toronto Raptors are missing from their lineup right now. We need people that can consistently hit threes. So Malachi Flynn, in I think the last couple weeks or something, is averaging close to 10 points per game, shooting close to 40% from the three-point line. And this is exactly what we expect out of Malachi Flynn. And part of it is when he's given an opportunity, he hasn't been able to thrive in it. But another part of it is Nick Nurse just keeps this guy in a very tight leash. But now we're finally seeing Malachi Flynn's reins, being let out, see what he can do. And I was calling for this either from Delano Banton or from Malachi Flynn earlier in the season. Don't just give the guy split in minutes, right? 7 minutes a night or something. Give them nights where they know for at least a week or two, hey, for these next 5 games, you're going to get 20 plus minutes a night, assuming you're not absolutely garbage, right? We'll give you that leeway to get your game going, get fluid out there. And that's what we finally see. Nick Nurse has finally done it for Malachi Flynn. And he's proven he's a legitimate NBA player. And people are bringing it up on the chat already, but the one question about Malachi Flynn, I've even said on podcasts, is defensively, can he hold up? Because we know he's a capable passer. The pick and roll, he showed that his rookie season. We know he's a capable shooter, even though he's inconsistent times in his limited minutes. He has a nice looking stroke. The three, I just trust Malachi Flynn's three-point shot to be decent, but in a smaller frame, he's not thick like Kyle Lowry or Fred VanVleet. Can he play defense? And in college, he was a defensive player of the year for his conference. And tonight, was hustling out there. He's been a dog out there recently, and tonight, let's swing at least one segment tonight. The spicy Pele of the day. While Pascal Siakam is definitely getting it for a lot of the moments he had in this game, Malachi Flynn's block that was this clutch elite block he had down the stretch of this one was really a deal saver for this Toronto Raptors team. And Malachi Flynn deserves a lot of credit for staying ready, staying prepared, and finally seizing on an opportunity Nick Nurse has given him. And if he continues to hustle and do these things on the defensive end, regardless of how the jump shots look and regardless of how it's going on offense, he'll be in our rotation. Nick Nurse just can't take a guy that's elite at three-point shooting, that's, can facilitate, can take the load off of guys like Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam. He's not going to be able to keep him on the bench if he's playing elite defense, or at least solid defense and doing some things. So that's that's a huge plus there for Malachi Flynn. And Predator Kingdom, a lot of people are just hyped with Malachi Flynn, so maybe we should just be getting the balloons as well for Malachi Flynn out here. Just getting some run, coming into his own as a player, because I love seeing Malachi Flynn, the Crimson Flynn's sanity, whatever you want to call him, the man that could be nicknamed to death. You love to see him thrive, and he's the type of player that we exactly need. So shout out to Malachi Flynn having a good game in this one. And just overall, I thought our bench, wasn't an insane sort of performances from any of our guys, but Thaddeus Young, I thought, gave us some good minutes there. Missed one corner three. That was what probably would have been the OGs in this one, but 2 points in this game, 7 rebounds, hustling, 3 steals. Chris Boucher, 1 of 4. Nothing too crazy, but the box score makes it look like he was trash. It was just kind of like a non-factor game from Chris Boucher in this one. And then Christian Koloko, 6 minutes, 1 block. But that's our bench there. Still going to need some guys to get healthy so we don't have to run our starters to the ground. Fred VanVleet, 40 minutes in this one. Pascal, 41. But it needs to happen, right? If we want to win games and stuff. At this point, with all the injuries we've been sustaining, it's just going to occur. But shout out to Malachi Flynn, playing really, really well. But not all plays to be the Spice Pele of the day. And some just make you say, oh, geez. And tonight, the OG's play of the day. It's just going to the Raptors. They were up pretty big. There were so many times in this game where the Toronto Raptors, I know it's the modern NBA, it's a game of runs, right? 20-point lead, it's not safe at any point during a season or at any point during a game, and especially a 10-point lead. The Raptors were able to break away 8 to 10-point leads all throughout this game. They let the New York Knicks come back in, and huge credit to the New York Knicks for continuing to fight, continuing to pressure and try to, get their dubs, get their wins. But the Toronto Raptors weren't having any of it. They'd always counterpunch, but the whole game made me say, oh, geez. Just given recent history, how we've been selling close games, some dumb stuff is happening. Even when we've gotten big performances from Pascal Siakam, it's just a huge oh, geez moment in this game. Especially the run where RJ Barrett had that nasty dunk. Julius Randle had a really strong game himself for the New York Knicks. right? They came out and fought, and they made me say, "Oh, geez," this entire game. But it does have to be addressed. It does have to be talked about. And tonight, the Paul Pierce Golden Kazoo is going to none other, the infamous, the worst, not just play of the day, but just the worst part of the game, and it's going to none other. And maybe we should combine awards for it not. No Scotty Barnes awards are given out in this, but it's going to Scotty Barnes, who in this one got benched once again, only 20 minutes in this game. 1 of 10 from the field, 0 of 2 from the three-point line, 2 points. It was a minus 16 for the game. In a game the Raptors won by 7 points, he was a minus 16 and 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Just an ugly, ugly performance there for Scotty Barnes. And these are the types of games people have been talking about. It's been talked about, right? Like, and again, don't make this out to me thinking, oh, we should give up on Scotty Barnes. He's overrated, overhyped, all that. No. But he has been very remarkably inconsistent lately. Remarkably inconsistent. Now, it's really the bad games that sort of get talked about a bunch. When he's good, people tend to be quiet and all that. But we do have to talk about when he's having poor performances. And tonight, one of the worst performances of the season, for one of the worst performances of his career from Scotty Barnes in this one. Just looking not engaged. At least he took 10 shots. Sometimes in games like this, Scotty can just completely disappear. So I'll credit him on that front, but I agree with Scooby-Doo in the chat. He will find his groove. He'll be fine, right? We're staying positive. He's a young player with a lot of pressure on him in terms of, like, defenses are now locked in on, you know, this is a focal point of the Toronto Raptors offense. This is the reigning rookie of the year. He's a guy that you have to really, you know, center some defense around, and he's not there just yet. But second-year slumps are common for young and up-and-coming stars. I trust that he'll be able to bounce back. But we're going to need some more performances. Better performances from Scotty Barnes. And center of stars saying, putting it pretty solidly, like the passiveness from Scotty Barnes has been an issue since his rookie year. Times in games he can just float around, and I was happy he took 10 shots in this one. But when you're not in attack mode the entire time, it doesn't mean shoot every single time, but at least be a threat with the basketball in your hands, right? The ball's in Pascal Siakam's hands at any point during the season, whether he's passing, whether he's shooting. He's a threat to score, right? He's squaring up, his chest is facing the basket, and he's looking to see what the defense can give him, right? He's not forcing a lot, but you know, there's a difference between playing within the offense and then just being almost scared to score, almost not just not having it going. So it's how welcome Scotty Barnes. We're staying faithful. We're staying trusting of his game and his growth, but not good in the game here tonight. But before we sort of really swing into the, you know, final alarm, get everything rocking, you know, kind of ran through all of our players. Juancho Hernangomez also got a start in this one. 4 points, 5 rebounds. Played really good defense. Again, we need some more offensive production out of Juancho Hernangomez if we're going to consistently get some wins. But it's what's happening. It's what's happening. But let's see what the chat is saying. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this game. And Ryan's saying it's okay to criticize players when they aren't performing. It's the trolling that makes it childish. Good point. And again, especially in this sort of setting, a reaction podcast, you know, reaction threads on Reddit and stuff, it's fine to criticize games that are going on, but you know, some people especially take me as like, nah, some people are saying I'm super negative on these pods. I don't think there's been a point where I've really rung into people. I've still maintained, even during our Raptors therapy session, folks, and this was the biggest dose, as Pascal Siakam said in a quote last week, winning cures everything. And the biggest Raptors therapy is coming out and getting a win rather than sort of venting after a loss. So definitely, you'll love to see that. But all that hating on Pascal in the past and now on Freddie now will make them look silly. Agreed. And while Fred VanVleet is definitely in not the most efficient shooter, I've maintained that the entire time. He's our leader. I'm not trying to sell Fred VanVleet low. Unless we get a ridiculous package for Fred, I don't want to sell low on Fred VanVleet. So that's my take right there now. But I haven't been watching the live reactions because it's been rough the past games. I'm happy we won this one. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame people for wanting to avoid the post games. It's been ugly, but games like this reinvigorate my fire as a Toronto Raptors fan. I'm sure it does. Everyone's, you know, we're all amped up now. We're ready to go. But you don't snapping a losing streak. You don't seem that happy after snapping a losing streak. Boy, I'm happy. I'm not gonna lie. I have a major migraine right now, so if I not bringing the energy, I'm trying to fight through it. But I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about this game, and I'm very encouraged because even if we do make a trades, and I've made my predictions pretty clear, I do think a trade will go down. My Knicks prediction ended up coming out right, but I do think a trade will go down. I'd rather our players be valued high, us be not in a position of lower leverage than that. I definitely don't want to go for the tank unless we're absolutely forced to, especially in December. I'm still rooting for the squad. But Barnes had some nice times to OG to make it a couple of nice passes for sure. But we have high expectations for Scotty, though I worry about Scotty haters now. It's true. There shall be no division amongst the fandoms. There's always going to be division amongst Toronto Raptors fans, even when we're winning. It's how it goes. But with no injuries, we'll make the playoffs. We should definitely make the playoffs regardless of injuries or not. There's no excuse. We have too much talent on this team. And that's why it's been so disappointing as of late for this Raptors squad. But probably because the dumb fans are dragging down Pascal to prop up a bust. Siakam, I like the nickname, but I'm not calling Scotty Barnes a bust. But it's we don't need to hate one to love one. But Barnes can't shoot, just can't jump. Barnes can't shoot, can't jump, can't dribble. There's just no hate towards Pascal or to Scotty Barnes. But Baymax is saying, Ben, do you think we can win it all with Siakam, Fred, and Scotty as our core in the future? If not, would you want to trade or tank for MVP talent? I'm not about tanking in the sense like getting rid of all of our players. If it comes February, we have our core roster locked in and we're the 12th seed in the East, yes, it makes sense to lose some extra games and get a better lottery pick than to make a push for the play-in. I get that. But I'm not about tanking in terms of selling off all these dudes. And can we win a championship with that core group of guys? I think Siakam is proving he can be a number one guy, assuming he has a proper number two talent around him, right? To at least make a deep playoff run. Obviously, the real test in the playoffs, but he had an amazing playoff run last season. But, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet when he's consistent. I don't know if Fred VanVleet, how you define him, because he's like a leader on a team, but again, he's not efficient. He's never been efficient, but we won a championship with Fred VanVleet as like our fourth most effective player. So there's that. It's at least on the offensive end. So there's a love there, and then Scotty Barnes obviously has to grow and develop as a player. So it's too early to tell really at this point, but we need more complementary pieces, right? We can't just have just those three guys. It's not like the big three in the Miami Heat. But okay, at least we don't boo our team. Actually, I don't know if the Raptors fans have ever booed since the Bargnani era. But would you tape a Cheeto to your face for a whole day for 10K? Yeah, sure. Give me 10K, baby. Money up front. But yeah, they were hating on our 2019 championships to prop up younger guys. Yeah, that's how it goes. Do you think we'll actually try to build around Pascal? We could contend. I don't think we are going to go in a direction where we're tanking. Like, I don't think trades are going to be made this season where we say, hey, we're blowing up the roster. Now, trades will be made, in my opinion. Moves will be made. I don't think the roster is going to stay as constructed, but I don't think we go in the Victor Wembanyama direction. But Masai Ujiri's made known he doesn't want to play for the plan. And we've dug ourselves quite the hole recently, so hopefully we get that rocking. But Cole, appreciate the love, Jay. Appreciate it. But 52 in MSG. That was a vibe. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. Ben, get a Riker tattoo. Where do I get the Riker tattoo? And get the glasses going. I really hope they aren't just playing Flynn now only to showcase him for inclusion of a trade. Imagine Nick Nurse out here. The Masai Ujiri's giving directive orders to prop up Malachi Flynn. It's who was the player we did that? Ed Davis back in the day for the Rudy Gay trade. We played him a bunch of minutes there for like a month, and he upped his value. Let us know in the comment section. Remember the Ed Davis sort of month where he looked like he was going to be the next Chris Bosh, the lefty, getting buckets in the paint, hitting middies, and we traded him to the Sacramento Kings for Rudy Gay. And if it wasn't Rudy Gay coming back, it was a perfect time to trade him because his career didn't go off for anything, but it was you love to see it. And the Gay trade started off an era for the Toronto Raptors right now. And what's happening? I like our core, but we can use a tweak or two. Couldn't agree more, Predator Kingdom. Edgy Style saying Siakam's a legit superstar right now, top 10 player. The way he's going, top 5 is not a stretch. He will be, keeps playing this like he's possessed. Dominant Spicy P. He's playing like a top 10 guy. He's playing like a top 10 guy. There's no other way to put it. But all aboard the Wembus. Nah, no chance. Prime is good. You try it. Yeah. Do we? I don't even know if I've not seen a Prime bottle in Newfoundland. So someone wants to ship it to me. I'll definitely drink some Logan Paul juice. That sounded weird. But it'll be a good journey for sure. We need a better bench as well. 100% correct, Ryan Henderson. And if Malachi Flynn can sort of step up, be consistent, we get back healthy, our bench will be improved, but I do think some pieces need to be added. You put shooters around Pascal, he'll rack up points and assists. That's key, and that's been a big issue for this Raptor squad. It's been a big issue for this Raptors team. It's Pascal doing a lot of things, and then we're not able to finish. We're not able to space the floor. And even tonight, like it was, another golden kazoo that could be given out in this game, which was covered up by Pascal Siakam just being an absolute all-including talent. We shot 26% from behind the three-point line. And OG Anunoby, he's not going to get any criticism from me because he does so much on the defensive end and he's taking the right shots. But 1 of 6 from the three-point line, his three-point percentage should come back up. You'd love to see it. But Kevin Mao was saying, who's your favorite non-Raptor to watch, Ben? Luka Doncic. I just... Seeing a man like that, obviously I'm not 6'9" or whatever, but I play similar to Luka Doncic, sort of the ball in the hands, lots of creation, no-look passes, streaky three-point shooter. So seeing I live vicariously through Luka Doncic. It's my guy. But Otto Porter Jr. and Precious, they'll be key. Couldn't agree more. Country Kong, but I guess Kyle Lowry too. I will say that. But let's see. Barnes on a sophomore slump for sure. Our people need to stop hating on Siakam. He's the most consistent player on the roster right now. People are still hating on Siakam. It's insane. It's absurd. I'm happy to say I never fell off the Spicy P bandwagon. So shout out. Shout out. All the book it predictions are coming right. But when Otto comes back healthy and Precious, bench is going to look different. Agreed. And Precious is probably going to be in the starting unit, to be honest. So hopefully our starters look more. TJ Cool Pants is wilding right now. Bargnani Primo Pasta versus Scotty Subway. Man, Andrea Bargnani, what a legendary dude. I used to gel my hair in junior high school. I will not take any slander to the Bargnani era. That guy had a big influence on my life growing up. That's some people grew up idolizing MJ. Some people grew up idolizing Kobe. I idolized Andrea Bargnani with my spiked hair and eating primo pasta and sauce every day. But Tal Coop, and not even a joke, not gonna lie. I did steal my hairstyle in grade 7 from Andrea. But I understand the sophomore slump takes, but it's like biomechanics and athleticism, movement, ability shouldn't be overlooked. Defense and Barnes is troubling. Tal, I would agree with you if we didn't have like a year-long sample size of Scotty Barnes being a strong defender last year. So I do agree the defense has been a bit sketchy, and we should be hoping that comes into its own right, but it's not something that I'm going to be worried about super long term, unless it becomes a major pattern for Scotty Barnes. But I still hate the Il Pasta because of Bargnani. Hey, love that man. But don't compare Scotty to Bargnani. Hey, Bargnani was the #1 pick, folks. You love to see it. Y'all gotta remember Scotty wasn't really supposed to be a scorer when we drafted him. He exceeded expectations, and he just gotta get through his slump, and he's really good. Scotty's been great this season too. Like expectations aside, other than if he wasn't rookie of the year last season, he's been really strong. But no, I hear you. But I don't think Barnes' legs are healthy. Doesn't have the stepper bounce. Definitely agree. And honestly, that's what I'm saying. If he's hurt, just rest him for 2 weeks or something. That's what we want to see. And what are we going to do with Gary? Starboy, we'll see. I'm not stressing about that right now, but trade rumors are picking up. We're going to be covering them left, right, and center on the Raptors Digest, so definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But Jenfrim Jenfro likes cream cheese, like spicy pea cream cheese. What up, Jenfrim? Hope you're doing well, my guy. But I want to keep our core and tank for Wembanyama. Josh, that's what I'm saying. Because we're obviously hyped tonight. The balloons have been played twice. We're feeling good. But we are coming off a 6-game losing streak. things could get messy again if we don't have a 50 piece every night for Pascal Siakam. If we can keep our core players, if we can keep sort of the squad we have and tank as is, adding Wembanyama to this group and then sort of retooling to make our roster make more sense in the offseason, that's, if we're not having a nice playoff run, that's the dream scenario, my take. So if I ever say tank, that's the direction and I want to rock out with. But bro, what are you brought at, Connor? But we need a package 2 or 3 role players for a superstar. Superstar will be cool, but we'll see if that occurs. What we should do what the Bucks did, surround Siakam with shooters and elite defenders, and we'll be legit contenders. Superstar player like Siakam just needs better supporting cast. True, but it's weird how a roster sort of constructed, because in theory, OG should be that guy. He's not shooting that well. In theory, Fred should be that guy, but he's not shooting that well this season. In theory, Gary should be that guy. He's not shooting that well this season. And Scotty Barnes is too big of a talent to just let go, especially where his value is at right now. So I get what you're saying, but it's tough to make that happen. But Michael Sheldon saying, I do think if we trade Scotty for KD, we'd win the chip this year. Agreed, but it would probably have had to been Scotty and more. And long term, I'm still not sold on that play long term. Sure, in the next 2 years, make us exponentially better, but I see what's happening. Ben, we could use a shooter like Quickly. I assume Manuel Quickly off the bench to give us instant scoring offense. Quickly's a 30% 3-point shooter though. I could completely be wrong on that. Fact check that for me, chat. But he's fast and stuff, so we'll see. But Josh said he's a post-up player. Josh is kind of like a hustler, kind of fishes around the rim. I've only played with him once in basketball, so. What do you think of the Ja Morant's collab with Nike? I don't know if he's collabing. I think he's just straight up sponsored these days. But I have not seen what the shoes look like. Yeah, Quickly or Bones Highland. I don't think we'll be able to get Bones from the Nuggets. He's a valuable young piece they're probably going to try to hold on to, but Wembanyama's not guaranteed to be as good as Siakam as he's currently playing. Yeah, it's a risk. That's why I wouldn't want to trade our entire team. Now, if we could get him, I'd love that, but agreed, Country Kong. But Boucher used to be a 6 Man of the Year candidate. What happened? He's kind of been falling off, but he's a hustler. He's a hustler. But he's 10 years too late. Who's 10 years too late? But Andrea Bargnani is now a DJ, I believe. Love to see it. Yo, if I ever was just like at a party or something, or at a random bar in Toronto or Italy or wherever the heck it is, and Andrea Bargnani was the DJ, that would be one of the greatest moments of my life. But Ben do 5 push-ups right now. Man, I've been working out all day. My head hurts. I'm not doing no push-ups. Scooby-Doo. My push-up game has been getting better though. So it's close to bust out like 117 in a row now. So that's been working on the grind. But Malachi's starting to grow on me. Anyone else? Malachi Flynn, the Crimson Flynn, man. Give him some minutes, get him out of the Nick nursery. Things are just going to be great. It's great to see positive vibes from this team. Facts. That's what's happening. Chris Boucher referred to Gary as Starboy on the live hustle play. Did you nickname originate here? I don't know if it originated here, but I doubt it. I doubt it. We like, as soon as we got him, I said he looked like The Weeknd. We're calling him Starboy. Riker and I were calling him Starboy on these vids, so I don't think it originated from us, but we've definitely ran with it. I'm gonna keep it 100%. I don't watch other Raptors YouTube. I don't really watch other NBA content that much on YouTube, so maybe other people were saying it. I don't know if we run with it the most, but it's what it is. Can you touch on today's earlier upload? I'm gonna watch it later. Yeah, just basically Gary Trent Jr. is not gonna sign his extension, accept his player option for this upcoming summer. So league executives expect us to trade him for this season. Fred VanVleet, there's betting odds for him. What else? Joel Embiid was roasting us. Solid video. I've been I'm off work now for the next couple of weeks, so been able to record a few vids during the days. Ben's the type of guy to float in the air after smelling pie. Yeah, good chocolate chip cookies. That's what I do. But Wembanyama, but Scoot even. Yeah, both those guys would be great. Scoot is good. Yeah, people are talking about the tanks. And Juan is a great philosopher. Pascal Siakam. You love to see it. Ben's the type of guy to float. I read that. Ben's the type of guy to write with a feather. No, I'm not on that vibe. I don't know if I've written with a pencil in a hot minute. Big typer, big coder guy over here. But I feel like Nick Nurse needs to be fired. Mackenzie, life is just feeling good. Life is just feeling good. Watch him cook and move him he plays again. So yeah, lots of wild stuff. Ben's the type of guy to get a light bulb over his head when he gets a good idea. I'm just a cartoon, guys. It's what's happening. Propagating the Star Boy. You'll love to see it. But any news on Riker? No news. No news. No news on Riker. But it's also a challenge for Mal. See if we were stunting his growth. Yeah, I'm excited to see what Malachi Flynn can do with consistent minutes. That's my real take here. I want to see Malachi Flynn get some actual run. But Kenny Beecham always be spitting facts. I'm aware of other basketball YouTubers. Kenny's a good guy to listen to. But true. There have been times where giving Grum to show something he disappeared. Yeah. Predator Kingdom say I only watch you guys in NBA Chev on the regular basis. Appreciate you, Predator Kingdom. But a closet the same pair of clothes. Nah. I'll be switching up my style. But you know, I wish we still had Serge Ibaka. He's old now, but he's still good. And Nick, yeah, the Riker stuff's been addressed probably 1,000 times. So it's what's happening. But are we tanking? I'm not even sure anymore. Ray, we're just going on with the vibes. We're just going on with the vibes. TJ Cool Pants saying, I'm still in school. No holidays yet. TJ, what's happening, man? Your exams are going on pretty long? They're going on longer than my stream, as you're saying. So that's what's happening. But folks, you guys are the best. Make it this far. I'm actually about to fall asleep on the podcast. I hope I've been pushing through, keeping the energy up on these pods. But love you too, Levi. Love everyone that's out here in the chat. Love me some Pascal Siakam, some Spicy P in these games, and things are only gonna go up from here. They have to do it. So hopefully we continue in the direction, get everything rocking. But folks, you guys are the best making this far. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Sign up for CoolBet. Support the channel. It's free to sign up. But anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.